Hey everybody, my name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Welcome to my FlossTube channel. This is going to be part 2 of my mid-year 2025 WIP Parade. If you have not seen part 1, go check it out. I will try to link it in the description box down below. I will also be linking the planner that I'm using. It is the cross-stitch planner from Rainbow Sheet Studio that is available on Etsy. So I will actually, I didn't say it in part 1, but I'm going to link both the planner and my walkthrough video of the planner down below as well. So, part 2 of the WIP Parade. So just a quick recap, I have everything divided up into categories. So we are going through category by category, and I'm gonna let you know if I did stitches on them. I do have them kind of where it like kind of cuts and comes back between categories because I was like, oh, I'm just going to keep filming and blah, blah, blah. You know, I was going to try to do it all in one video. Obviously, that wasn't going to be able to happen. So at least now I'm not like, oh, well, part 1 had this many of one category and then the rest of them are in this one or whatever. So at least part 1, I know those categories are in that video. You know what I mean? So, oh, and then, like I said in part 1, the stitches I'm going to be telling you are based off of my planner for 2025, but I'm going to do the before photos from my WIP Parade from last year, which was the second week of December. So if there were stitches in December, because I have a separate thing that has my December stitches from my WIP Parade to the end of the year, if there are stitches in December on that WIP, I will go ahead and do a text and let you know how many there were put in, that I put in. Okay? All right, so let's get started with going through more of these WIPs. Okay, I think this next category that we're going to do is going to be the small full coverage. And when I say small, I mean anything that's under $250,000. What was that? Not dollars. Not dollars, Jen. Under 250,000 stitches. How about that? A little bit more realistic, right? Okay, so first one up. So I'm going to be doing some searching on Pattern Keeper so that I can find the stuffs. First one up is going to be Snowy Delight. This is by Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by Kaplan Door. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have not worked on this year. I do know that much for sure. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a, I want to say this is a 28 count easy count Lagana, and I have completed page 1. Have not worked on it this year. That is where I'm at with it right now. I have 3,552 stitches completed out of 150,360. I am at 2.36%. This is an upper left-hand corner start. So I may or may not kind of breeze through these if I don't have a lot to say about them. So this one, I was a little worried when I was working on that page. I do remember that because I was like, this looks like absolutely nothing. And then it wasn't until I got the page filled in that I was like, all right, it's looking more like a Christmas tree. We're good. Okay. Okay, next one up is From the Ashes. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio. This is a crop, I believe. Yeah, this is a crop. It is 423 by 423. It has 105 colors, and artwork is by Abraham Hunter. I want to say that this is also in a dimensions kit. I want to say it's available in a dimensions kit, but it's not called From the Ashes. It's called From the Ashes. It's called something else. But I've seen somebody's working on it as a dimensions kit. Okay, so I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. I do not believe I have gotten to work on this year. Hang on. No, I have not worked on it this year. This is where I'm at with it right now. I have 2,600 stitches completed out of 178,929. I am at 1.45% complete. Upper left-hand corner start. So there's that one. Okay, next up is another chart from Pain Free Crafts. This is called Wanderlust Camping. It is a retired chart. Artwork is by Lars Stewart. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. It is 497 by 327. I have no idea how many colors it is. I have not worked on it this year. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. Upper left hand corner start. I have 1,625 stitches completed out of 162,519. I am at 1.00%. When this comes out for me to work on it, whenever it does come out for me to work on it, I'm going to convert it into a diagonal and get that stuff filled in. Okay. Next up is Baubles on the Beach. This is from Cross Stitch for Everyone. I want to say it's up this way. Excuse me. I've been talking a lot. I've been filming for a few hours now. Where is it? Hang on. Oh, here it is. I'm just making sure it's from Cross Stitch for Everyone. Yes. Cross Stitch for Everyone on Etsy. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm going to show this and then I'm going to pause and get a drink because I have like this tickle in the back of my throat. Promise I'll try to stop coughing here in a minute. I did an upper left hand corner start. It's going to be hard to see. It's 1/1 full cross on a 28 count white Monaco. I currently have 800 stitches completed out of 76,729. I am at 1.04%. Okay. Let me pause and get a drink so I stop coughing in your ear. Apologies. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I'm good now. Okay, next up is Beach Getaway. I did work on this one. Was it this year or was it in December? Oh no, it was this year. Okay. All right, Beach Getaway. This is from, here it is. This is from Charting Creations. It's an image license with Shutterstock. It is 325 by 490 and it has 101 colors. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing it 1/1 full cross on some fabric that I bought off of AliExpress a few years ago. I don't even know what count it is. I just know that it fits. And fabric is kind of thin, so I'm going to hold it up against this. This year, I have put in Beach Getaway. This year I put in 693 stitches. I am sitting at 1,593 stitches completed out of 159,250. I am at 1.00%. Okay. All right. Next up is Amazonia. This is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Here it is. It is 400 by 490. It has 107 colors, and artwork is romance art. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing this 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana, and I put in 340 stitches. I now have 1,960 stitches completed out of 196,000. I am at 1.00%. All right. Next up is Happy New Year. This is by Cross Stitch for Everyone. On Etsy. Here it is. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm realizing that I haven't been telling you the dimensions of some of these pieces. There's a couple I think I did not tell you the dimensions of them. Because it's not on the front cover, or it wasn't on the front cover. Let me see. Happy New Year is 264 by 285. Okay. I do not believe that I've worked on it this year. No. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. I am currently sitting at 1,184 stitches completed out of 75,240. I am at 1.57%. I'm doing the background. It's 9:39. I still have over 50, I have like 50,872 stitches left of 9:39. Oh. All right. There's that one. Next up is Quick Stitch Red Panda. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Meredith Dillman. If I can find it. Yep, there it is. And it is 175 by 245. It has 90 colors. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And it is being stitched where did it go? Oh, there it is. It is being stitched 1/1 full cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. It's not going to be very big. I have not worked on this at all. That's where it's at right now. I have 1,714 stitches completed out of 42,875. I am at 4.00%. I adopted this piece from one of my friends. She tried out full coverage and she realized she didn't like it. So I was like, it's okay. I'll take care of it. I'll take it over. Okay, there's that one. Next up is one of my stockings. This is the Enchanted Reindeer stocking. This one is by Donna Gelsinger. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. It's 240 by, whoa, what happened? 240 by 344, and it has 87 colors. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I do not believe that I have worked on it this year. No, I have not. That's a shame, because I really wanted to get some work on it. This one and my other one. I'm doing a 2/1 10 stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. That is where I'm at with it right now. I am at 13,205 stitches completed. Out of 55,903, I am at 23.62%. As you can see, I started converting it into a diagonal. Okay, so there's that one. Next up is another adopted WIP. This one is Mini Tea and Books. I've been really tempted. So this is charted by this one is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by, I think, Bridget Ashwood. Where'd it go? Here it is. Yeah, Bridget Ashwood is who did the artwork. It's 275 by 275. It has 89 colors, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Pain Free Crafts has this pattern as well, and I've been tempted to get that one because it looks way more detailed. I also need to see if it's a lot bigger. There's that too, because I didn't pay attention to the size. But all I have right now is background, so it could also be if it's comparable in size. If I can ever pare down these WIPs, maybe I could do both and do a comparison, like, because it's the same piece. But this is where I'm at with it right now. I did not work on it this year. I don't remember working on it. Mini Tea and Books. Nope. I am currently sitting at 5,540 stitches completed out of 75,625. I am at 7.33%. So, like I said, I'm doing it 2/1 10 stitch on 25 count easy count Lugana. I don't remember if I said that. But like I said, I'm tempted to get the one from Pain Free Crafts because, like, the background has more detail in it. You can see the books a little bit better. Just a thought. Okay. Next up is, I think it's, this was my first mini purchase. Shouldn't have purchased it, but that's okay. I mean, it's fine. This is Mini Sunset Lighthouse, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Dominic Davison. That's the piece. It's 325 by 232. It has 88 colors, and I have not worked on it this year. A lot of detail is going to be lost because it's a mini. There's certain patterns, in my opinion, I don't think should be miniaturized. I did not realize that at the time. Now I know. I'm doing it with the Call for DMC 2/1 full cross on a 14 count Ada. I know it's gonna be, I know it's big, but I had the fabric fit and I wanted to start it right away because this was when I first started getting into full coverage. So I have not worked on it this year. I currently have 11,307 stitches completed out of 75,400. I am at 15.00%. There's that. All right. Next up is my other stocking. This one is The Falling Snow, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Alan Guiana. It is 296 by 393. It has 90 colors, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing it 2/1 10th stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. I have not worked on it this year. This is the one that I started off when I first started working on it. I started off doing like extreme cross country. That didn't last. And I'll bring it in a minute. But this is where I'm at with it right now. I have 20,663 stitches completed out of 78,648. I am at 26.27%. There's the top. Trees right there in the middle. There's the bottom. It'll get done eventually. Eventually. I didn't work on this, right? Nope. Okay. Okay. Next up is Peaceful Jaguar. Have not worked on it this year. So many I haven't worked on. I mean, I did say in part 1 that I'd only worked on 89 projects, but oh well. I probably should have just done the WIP Parade with what I had worked on. But Peaceful Jaguar, this is a crop. It's 325 by 325. It has 91 colors. Charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Lucy Bilodeau. I don't know how to say her name. Boop. And like I said, I have not worked on it this year, but I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. And I want to say that oh dear. Okay, so this was one that I had the brilliant idea of doing all 4 corners. Well, so I think someone gave me the idea of doing all the corners and then kind of doing it like this, like corner, 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 corner. So, have not worked on it this year, but this is where I'm at with it right now. I have 2,486 stitches completed out of 105,625. I am at 2.35%. So the idea, for those who are like, what the hell is she doing? I counted over and okay, I was just running my eyes across that where I was like, oh God, don't tell me I started in the wrong spot. So I started working on this page and then someone had given me the idea of doing all the corners and then just kind of rotating through the diagonals. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I started doing that. So I got this diagonal done and I came over here and I got this tiny one done. And then I was like, oh, let me do this diagonal here. And then the idea is that once that diagonal is done, I'm going to count down. Oh shit, I did do it. Wow. Okay. So then I counted down and I did this tiny diagonal here. And then I counted down, over, down, whatever. And I did this tiny diagonal over here. So apparently what I decided to do is once this diagonal is completed, because this one's already done, once this diagonal is completed, I'm going to come down and I'm going to do this diagonal. And then once this one's done, I'm going to do this one. And then I'm just going to kind of circle around, and they will slowly fill in like this. But I think once I do start working on this regular, I do still like that idea, and all the corners have been started, so why not? But I think what I'll do is some of my larger full coverages, I'm parking in the diagonal, but then once the thread's done in that diagonal, I've been ending it, and I think I might do that. Like once this comes back out, I'm not gonna like keep parking in the diagonal so I don't have all these hanging threads. But yeah. That apparently is my brilliant plan. We'll see how that works out. Okay. All right, next up is Apple Pie Harvest. This is by Charting Creations. Artwork is by Janet Kruskamp. It is 475 by 356, and it has 90 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. And I have worked on this year, so let me just find it. Okay. So I think this one, I usually do work in diagonals, but this one, I had started off working by page, and so that's what I'm going to keep on doing. So I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana, and this is where I'm at with it right now. This year I have done 800 stitches total in page 2. Page 1 is complete, and I am now sitting at 9,970 stitches completed out of 169,100. I am at 5.90%. A squirrel's playing in the tree outside. I have like 3 big, well, 4, 5 big pine trees on the other side of my fence over there. Okay, next up is Villa Lorna. Oh wait, this needs to stay out, I think. All right, next up is Villa Lorna. This is from Stitching Moon. She has a floss tube and an Etsy shop. Stitching Moon Designs on Etsy. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This was a building in her town that she lives in Norway that she photographed and then did like paint shop edits to it. And it is 540 by 376. I don't remember how many colors it's got. I'm doing it 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana. And I feel like I have worked on this year, so let me just pull it up. I haven't done much, but I have worked on it. I have a lot of parked threads. I'm going to try to do it like this. I don't remember if I worked in both sections or just the one. So I did 300 stitches on it this year. I know for sure over here. I do not remember if any of it was over here. It's going to be hard to tell right now because I started this off doing Royal Rose. And I got almost halfway across the piece and I decided I did not like it. I mean, the parked threads in this are ridiculous because you park and you stitch in the, see these 2 blocks right here? You stitch in that tower and then you park down. So for this area that has like basically kind of the same colors, you have that same color parked, and it's just really aggravating and I don't like it. So it's not for me. It works for some people. I don't like it. It's not for me. So I have been trying to get these parked threads worked in. Very, very slow process. I'm currently sitting at 10,803 stitches completed out of 203,040. I am at 5.32%. Okay, next up is Artist Kitchen. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Jacek Jurka. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. I think Jurka is correct. I could be incorrect on his first name. It is 450 by 406. It has 238 colors. I have the max color version, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. Doing it 2/1 full cross on a 20 count Aida, not gridded. So I made some mistakes. I still have to fix them. Have I worked on this? I do not remember. I did. I worked a little bit on it this year. Okay, so like I said, 20 count Aida, 2 strands, full cross. Here we go. This year I've put in 200 stitches, not sure where, because I haven't worked on it since January, but I did 200 stitches on it. I feel like I might have done more in December too. But I have 2,418 stitches completed out of 182,696. I am at 1.32%. This area right here, I still need to frog out. I put the entire windowsill in the wrong location. Just the frame, I didn't like fill it in and all that, but this area right here, I still need to frog out. So when this becomes part of my active rotation, I will try to frog that out before I start working. This one's been kind of hard to figure out what I want to do because it's not gridded, so I'm kind of nervous to just wander because that's what I did and I screwed that windowsill. So, yeah. Okay, I was trying to think where I had to put that. Okay, next up is going to be the sewing desk. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. I have regular size, regular color, and it is going to be 525 by 375. It has 87 colors. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. Is it raining again? It's been raining every night. Like every single night it's been raining. You guys might hear some thunder. Okay. So I have worked on it this year, so let me find it on my list. Sewing desk therapy. Doing it 2/1 10th stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And this is where I'm at with it. This is where I'm at with it right now. I want to say the entire area I worked on was up here. I've done 900 stitches this year. I now have a total of 10,695 stitches completed out of 196,875. I am at 5.43% complete. Here's that. And this is staying out because it's one of my Monopoly pieces. Okay, next up is Mr. Cardinal. This is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Here it is. It is 190 by 317. It has 86 colors. Artwork is by Dempsey Essick. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have, let me find it. Mr. Cardinal. Here it is. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 20. That was 28, but it might be 32. Oh, it might be 28. I think it's a 28 count easy count Lugana. And this year, so far, I've put in 700 stitches. That is where I'm at with it. I now have 1,905 stitches completed out of 60,230. I am at 3.16% complete. I think there's a few stitches in this diagonal that need to be done, but they're in this one, and I really wanted to get some more work, like start fresh with some new threads, so I just went up here and started that diagonal. So I don't remember if this is active. Like, I know I put work in on it, but I don't remember if this was one that made the cut with my new list. So let me set that aside. Okay, next up is Cherry Blossom, and this is from Blue Fox Stitchery on Etsy. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. Doing a stitch along, well, start along really, with Alara on this piece. And I want to say Lindsay from Blushing Pink Stitches has joined us on this as well, or she wants to, and she just hasn't started yet. It's 275 by 303. I don't know how many colors it is, but most of them are pink. Doing it 2/1 10th stitch on a 28 count linen. Ivory linen, I don't know, something I had in my closet. And let me get this fabric folded around so it's easier for me to hold. There we go. There we go. This year I've put in 800 stitches. I am now sitting at 3,811 stitches completed out of 83,325. I am at 4.57%. And this will get more work on it because it's in my, I think it's my small full coverage. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Actually, so since I know that for sure, I'm going to put that over there. Okay. Next up is going to be White Tiger Ghost. This is a crop of a larger piece. It is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork, I want to say is by Jeremy Paul, but Jeremy Paul. And it's 300 by 300. It has 59 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Boop. Kitty. Meow. I'm doing it with the Call for DMC 2 strands full cross on a 14 count Ada, Ivory Ada. Again, something that I had in my stash that I was like, oh, this will fit. White Tiger Ghost. Here we go. Okay. There we go. So far this year, I have put in 700 stitches on it. And I now have 5,494 stitches completed out of 90,000. I am at 6.10%. I think the before photo is going to have some of an eyeball stitched in here. That was in the wrong spot and I had to frog it. So that's why it's not there anymore. All right. This is my other small full coverage piece that I can pick from. So let me go ahead and put this over there. Okay. Next up is going to be Trucks and Goldens. This is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. It's a snippet. It's not the whole thing. Like there was a larger piece that they took a little piece from. It's 175 by 175. It has 88 colors. Artwork is by Greg Giordano. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. Doing it 2/1, 2 strands full cross on a 14 count Aida. Again, it fit. I don't want it to start it. I actually put this one on a larger count fabric because I used this for my very first parking tutorial that I did. I have 2 parking tutorials. I have this one where I show you how to park. I'll link both of them in the description box of all the WIP parades if you haven't seen them yet. I actually have a playlist where I go over a few different like how-to things, how I do stuff. But I did a tutorial with this pattern, how to park, just how to park in general. Then I did another one where I was parking on the diagonal with Amazonia. Where is it? I have not worked on it this year. So this is where I'm at with it right now. Like I said, it's gonna be big. That's okay. I have 3,566 stitches completed out of 30,625. I am at 11.64% complete. I should make this one of my focus pieces. I could like really crank some stitches out on that. Okay. Couple more and then we're done with this category. Next up is going to be Lighthouse Merriment. This is charted by Charting Creations. Artwork is by Nikki Bohm, right? Yes. It is 425 by 352 and it has 99 colors. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I do not remember if I worked on this. Let me look. I did work a little bit on it. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on 32 count easy count Lugana. Oh yeah, I'm converting it to a diagonal. So I did 500 stitches on it this year. And I'm currently sitting at 2,850 stitches completed out of 149,600. I am at 1.91%. Okay. Final one for this category. This one is Checking the List, and this is charted also by Charting Creations. I have 2 others that are this style that I want to have fabric for sure. The other one I don't know if I have fabric for it. But this one is Checking the List. Artwork is by Marcelo Corti, and it is 280 by 419 and has 80 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I really love that grayscale background with like Santa in all of its glory. I love it. Like I said, I have 2 others that are in that style as well. What is that called? Checking the list. Have I worked on it this year? Yes. Okay. I am doing this 1/1 full cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. And this year I have put in 500 stitches. Looks really good. I now have 4,819 stitches completed out of 117,320. I am at 4.11% complete. This was another one that I was tempted to, once I got that diagonal completed, I was tempted to go in all of the corners and then work my way in so that I would end with Santa in the red. But obviously I haven't even gotten that diagonal done, so we'll see how that goes. That was actually the first one. I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. But I didn't have the diagonal done, so I did it on Peaceful Jaguar instead. Okay, so that's it for small full coverages. Let me get this stuff put away and I'll be back with the next one. Okay, the next category that we are going to do is WIP of Shame. So if you are watching me for the first time and you're like, what? WIP of Shame is, I'm sorry, my back is so sore. I've been filming for hours and hours. So I'm just stretching out real quick. Oh, ow. Oh. WIP of Shame is a bunch of old kits that I have that are decades and decades old. Some of them dating back to the 90s, but usually they're about at least 10 years old. There is, I think, one exception in here, maybe 2, where I thought they were older than they are. But other than that, everything is from like late 90s, early 2000s, and they have pathetic progress on them. So I have you guys halfway through the month. I picked 2 and with a random wheel spinner, and you guys spend 2 weeks voting on which one you want me to work on for the following month. And yeah, so let's see. So some of these don't have any work on them, and some of them I have worked on them for the month. So I'll let you know which month that I did work on them, if I did. So first one up is going to be Cat on Indian Carpet. This is from Designs for the Needle, and it was designed by Leslie Ann Ivory. She actually has some artwork on Heaven and Earth Designs as well. This was a WIP of Shame this year, and I worked on it. Whoops, I just dropped the, hang on, I dropped the cover photo. There we go. I worked on it in the month of March. So my goal is, when you guys vote on it, I work on it all that month for approximately 100 stitches a day, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the thread and how busy I am. But by the end of the month, I will have 100 stitches for every day that month. So 30,000, 3,100, 2,800 for February. Yeah, so I did work on this in the month of March, and I got 3,100 stitches on it. I was kind of wondering about it in the beginning, but now that I'm getting more work on it, I'm like, okay, this ain't too bad. But I'm not gonna lie, when I first was working, I'm like, oh, really, this one? But now that I have, like, you know, his face in there and everything, it's like, okay, this ain't all that bad. So there's that one. Put that there. Okay, next up, I have not worked on this one. This one is Irish Blessing. It is a kit from Artiste. I don't know if it's quite 10 years old, but I want to say it is because I remember starting this when I was still married, and I've been divorced since 2018. Like, it was final in 2018. But yeah, this is a Irish blessing. It says, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warmly upon your face. May the rain fall softly on your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. This one almost won Whip of Shame one time, but it lost. I don't remember to who though. And all of these, I didn't say. I think the cat one is on a 14 count navy Aida. This is on a 14 count white Aida. I'm using everything that came in the kit with this stuff. So that's my start with that. I just have 3 lines of text. That's it. I don't think I've worked on this in a couple years. Okay. Next up is going to be Frederick. I really like this one. So we have collectively decided, me and my viewers, that he was my very first Whip of Shame, and then and that was May of last year, and then he got voted to be Whip of Shame again May of this year. And so me and my viewers have decided he will be the Whip of Shame every May. But this is what he looks like. This is still available through Dimensions, but this one is by Creative Accent. It's by Charles Wysocki. Yeah, it's an Artiste kit. Yeah, the second one. But this is Frederick, and I'm using everything that came in the kit, and I worked on him in May. So this is a 14 count Aida. And I got 3,100 stitches on him, including some back stitching. But yeah. All right. Next up is Dimensions Gold Collection. Have not worked on this one in forever. This is Gift of the Eagle Feather by Craig Tennant. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. This one is being stitched on an 18 count beige Aida. And that is where I'm at with it. Lots of reds and oranges in it. Like it. So there's that one. I want to see how the voting goes the rest of this year, because I'm going to continue the Whip of Shame, because that's honestly probably going to be the only way that I really get progress on these projects. But I may extend, so right now my rule is once it gets worked on, it can't get worked on again for 4 months. I might extend that out to 5 or 6 months that it can't be picked, because I've been doing Whip of Shame for over a year now, and there's been some repeats, and then there's others that have not been worked on at all, haven't even been selected to possibly be worked on. So I might have to extend that to like 6 months. Okay, next up is a Dimensions Gold Collection. This is In Her Garden by Sandra Cuck. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Have not worked on her this year. And this is being stitched on an 18 count ivory Aida. Give me 1 second. Let me get my bearings. I think it goes like this. I think I worked on this last year. I do not think I worked on it. No, okay. I was like, I know that there's new stitches on this but the new stitches are from last year, not this year. So that's where I'm at with that one. Okay. Next up is a small one. This one is Bless This Nest. Whoops, he's throwing it on the floor. Okay. Bless This Nest. This is a kit by Busilla. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. It's by Andrea Tachiera. I don't know. 14 count white Aida. Has not been worked on this year. I did this, I picked this last summer because I thought it was going to be a finish when I did it as a whip of shame, I think in July. It looks like it's almost done, but there's there's back stitching that needs to be done still, and there's a lot more cross stitching that still has to be done. So I think that if it gets, like next time it gets voted on to be a whip of shame, I still don't think that 3100 would even get this thing done. I really don't. But it's really cute. I like it. What I'm hoping is that when that gets voted on to be a whip of shame, if it doesn't, if the 3100 doesn't get it finished, it should be close enough that I can put it into my finish pile. That's the idea. Okay, next up is going to be 3 bird watchers. This is a kit from Dimensions. I should have been telling you all the years. It's like copyright 1997. Look at that, Dimensions. Copyright 1997. 3 bird watchers. I think this is Martha Edwards. Yes, designed by Martha Edwards. This was, I feel like this was my December whip of shame. It might have been December. So I feel like it was my December whip of shame. Maybe. So if it was, then I got 3100 stitches. Oh, you know what? I have my big notebook here and I can just look. No, I can't because I only have 2025 on here. Yeah. So I feel like it was December. Okay. Yeah, 1 second, I'm just looking at something. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Next up is Walking to Town. This one is another Old Dimensions kit from Fred Swan. That's what that one is. That's what that one's going to look like. This one is being stitched on a 14 count, 18 count Navy Aida. Copyright 1999. That's when I graduated high school. I'm so old. Okay, this one has not been picked this year, right? Walking to Town. Nope, this was last year. This might have been either October or November last year. But that's where I'm at with that one. So I'm enjoying doing the Whip of Shame for the simple fact that if I was not doing the Whip of Shame, these projects would still be sitting here with little to no progress. Because even though they're cute and stuff, they're just not something I want to work on. Okay, next up is my Whip of Shame from the month of January. This one is a whole lot of latte. I hate working on this thing so much. It's going to be so cute though, but I hate working on it. But that's what it's going to look like when it's done. It is by Barb Tortolote. This project is not as old as I thought it was. I started this after I started my FlossTube channel, so it's less than 5 years old. Because I started my channel in 2020. But I hate working on it so much that it needs to stay in the Whip of Shame pile. So this was my Whip of Shame for January. So this ended up it's being stitched on a 14 count black Aida, and this got 3,100 stitches in the month of January. So there's that. Okay, next one is going to be a new addition to the Whip of Shame, only because I do not remember how old this project is, and I don't think it's over 10 years old, but it just keeps getting passed over. I mean, it's copyright 2011, but I don't think I started it back then. I really don't remember. I think I started it after my channel started, but it just keeps getting passed over. So this is going to be added to Whip of Shame. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection, Aurora Cabin. This is designed by Kim Norling. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And it is being stitched on a 16 count gray Aida. I worked on it, I think, last year and only did 100 stitches on it. That was it. And I haven't worked on it this year at all. So, that's where that is. Okay. And we get these dangly bits back in their bag. All right. Next up is, Riding the Wave. So this has not been worked on this year. This is a contender to be the Whip of Shame for the month of July. If you have not voted, please go to my weekly video to vote. Not this one. Don't vote here. Don't vote here. But this is Riding the Wave by charted by Creative Accents. Artwork is by Jim Warren. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And it is being stitched on a 16 count Dove Gray Aida. And that is where I'm at with that one. Okay. And then, oh wait, this needs to stay out until I find out who the winner is. Just put that over there. Okay. You know you're getting old when you twist the wrong way. And you scare yourself because you thought you threw your back out. That was kind of scary. Okay, next up is Rocky Point. This is a Dimensions Gold collection. This has been getting work on throughout the year because this is one of my Monopoly pieces. There is going to be stitches added in text because I'm pretty sure that I put stitches on it in December for Monopoly. But this is by James Hemsworth, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And it is being stitched on a 18 count ivory Aida. Let me find it on my list. So like I said, I'll have the 2024, like the December stitches. If there are some, I'll have those in a text with the before photo. Because I feel like there's more stitches than what's listed on here. Maybe. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It could just be this year I worked on it. But this is where I'm at with it now. So far this year, I've put in 1,600 stitches. And I've gotten some of the back stitching on the house done as well. This is my jail piece for Monopoly. And the dog, Remy, named my dog Remy, keeps landing in jail. Even though I told him he's a good boy. But, you know, now that I've told him he's a good boy, maybe he'll stay out of jail. Okay. This needs to stay out. Okay. Careful, Jen. Careful, you're turning, Jen. Okay, next up is Magnificent Wizard. This is a Dimensions Gold collection. Artwork is by Don Mates. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is another contender to be a Whip of Shame for the month of July. It's being stitched on an 18 count black Aida. And that is, no, that is where I'm at with it right now. That's where I'm at with it right now. It looks really good. I've actually stitched this twice for Whip of Shame. And I'm just double checking because I feel like Magnificent Wizard. Okay, so I stitched on it last year, and then I did stitch on this in February. So this got 2,800 stitches. Okay, this got 2,800 stitches on it in the month of February. Okay. There is one... I'm not going to bother showing it. I made it a UFO. Once upon a time, I made it a UFO because I messed up a few too many things on it and I got really pissed off and I said, I'm done. There was threads missing anyway, and then I messed up a few things and I got really pissed off. Alara said she's going to take it, so I just have to get it in the mail to her. That's all. The final one I'm going to show you for this category is my current Whip of Shame. And it is Goodnight Bears by Designs for the Needle. It is designed by Fiona Jude. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's not a total spoiler because I still have another week of stitching on this because it's only the 21st today. But... so far this month, I have put in 2,145 stitches. So there we go. So like I said, I still have one more week of working on this, and then July will be either Riding the Wave or Magnificent Wizard, whichever one you guys vote for. So that is it for the Whip of Shame category. Oh, and then there is one other one that I UFO'd. So Once Upon a Time got UFO'd, and then I did decide to make Beauty and the Beast a UFO. I will grab that one, but you got to bear with me because it is, hang on one second. Okay, I didn't really want to have to pause and come back just for this, but I just wanted to show you the kit because, yeah. All right, so this is Beauty and the Beast, Disney Dreams Collection, Thomas Kincaid. Everyone's like, oh my God, Thomas Kincaid, blah, blah. These kits are not worth it. I beg you, please do not buy these kits. If you see them on eBay and Facebook, don't buy them. They're not worth it. They really are not. I was tempted to, so I have this one started and I have the Little Mermaid not started. It's brand new. Not brand new, but like I haven't started it yet. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just stitch it so I can just show people how much they're not worth it. And then one of my Facebook friends sent me a picture of the finish of the Little Mermaid that somebody else had done. I was like, is this a joke? Are you punking me? Like, is that really what it's going to look like? She was like, yeah. I was like, absolutely not. It looked terrible. Let me show you what I've done on Beauty and the Beast so far. I'm not saying all of them are awful. I mean, but it's not worth it to me. It really isn't. Like, MCG Textiles went out of business for a reason. And this is terrible charting. It's absolutely terrible charting. This color in the top left corner does not match the color of this top left corner. That's what, it doesn't match at all. At all. Like, where did this color even come from? And it's not faded. It's always looked like that. It's not worth it. And it's not, I have too many whips because like I said, I was going to try to stitch it just to be like, hey, look, this is what it's looking like. It's not worth my time to do that. So this is a UFO. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Or the Little Mermaid. Definitely not selling them. And yeah, it's not worth it. It really isn't. So that is a UFO. I'm trying to figure out where to put it. That's why I keep looking around. I'm going to put it right there for now. But yeah, just want to let you know about that. So far, I've UFO'd 2 projects, that one and then Once Upon a Time, but I'm going to send Once Upon a Time to Alara, when I have time. I will send Once Upon a Time when I have time. So anyway, that's it for that category, and we will move on to the next one. All right. Next category is going to be finish the shit. So these are smaller pieces or close-ish to being done pieces that I'm like, okay, you need to finish this crap. So first one up is going to be a kit from Artiste called Welcome. Designed by Color Design Studio. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. It is being stitched on 14 count white Aida. Kit everything. And I do not believe I've worked on it this year. No, I haven't. Okay. But that's where I'm at with it. So letter-wise, all I have left is the W. all the letters have been backstitched except for where other stuff is coming in. And then I just need to do the extra bits and then it'll be done. So this is on the finish that shit list. Okay. All right, next up is Autumn Gnomes, and this is from Maya Stitch on Etsy. I do have this in Pattern Keeper, so give me 1 second. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I do have, here it is. Okay, I'm doing it with the Call for DMC 2 strands full cross on a 14 count, 16 count fiddler's cloth. And cross stitching wise, the center gnome is completed and I started the back stitching. I am at 1,449 stitches completed out of 4,608. I am at 31.45% done with the cross stitching. Have not worked on it this year. Okay. I'm looking around at the remaining WIPs and I'm like, should I break and finish this tomorrow? It's currently 8 o'clock. I've been filming since like 3 or 4 because, you know, it's like I have to stop, I have to clean up, I got to set up the next pile. So it's like not straight filming since 3 o'clock, but filming since 3 o'clock. My back is sore. I haven't stitched yet today. Next one is Autumn Spice. This is from It's So Emma. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I got it as a kit and it is being stitched on a 14 count. Oh, wait, no, this isn't straight white. Hold on. Pale Gray Gingham by Fabric Flair. Has not been worked on this year, right? I don't remember working on it. I remember working on it last year. Yeah, have not worked on it this year. That is where I'm at with it. It's going to be really cute once it's finished. Here's that. Okay, next one is Dolly Mama. Which one are you? Dolly Mama Coffee. It says bring coffee and no one gets hurt. And I'm using everything that came in the kit and it's on a 14 count white Aida. And that is my starting point. I know it doesn't look like there's much, but there's, I think, there's not really much to her, honestly. Like, yeah. I mean, there's a border that has to go around it, but that won't be too bad. All right. Next up is my penis popsicles. They're not really penises. They just look very phallic. Hello, Summer. This is from It's So Emma. I got it as a kit. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using everything that came in the kit, and it's a 14 count navy Aida by Witchell. That is where I'm at with it. That looks like boobies. But yeah, that's that one. All right. Next up is one of my bookmarks, one of my few remaining bookmarks. Actually, it might be my only remaining bookmark. Bookmark cups. This one over here. I've done this one. I need to finish this one. So this is a Bucilla kit. That's my starting point. I have 2 cups done. Backstitching is done as much as I can do. This is the other bookmark. This one's done. It's on the same piece of fabric. But that bookmark's done. I just got to finish it. But that one. So I have 2, 4. I only have 4 cups to do. And then that bottom plate thing that the cups are sitting on. So. Okay, next up is Summertime by Stitch Rovia on Etsy. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing it with the Call for DMC on a 14 count white opalescent Aida. Have not worked on it this year. This is where I'm at with it right now. And I'm sitting at 4,067 stitches completed out of 9,416. I am at 43.19% complete. So there's that one. Okay, next up is going to be my current work on till it's finished that I have not got to work on yet. This one is Dolly Mama Ho. That is what she's going to look like when she's done. Again, everything that came in the kit, 14 count white Aida. And that is my starting point with her. That's where I'm at. Have not worked on her this year. So let me put that over there. Okay, next up. So this is my Calendar Girl series from Little House Needleworks. Okay, let me see. One second. I do not have, right, these have not been started. So the one I am currently working on is Calendar Girls October. I have other ones completed. They're actually over on my desk. I am doing it with a Call for DMC 2/2 full cross on a 32 count Legacy Lugana by Picture This Plus. And one second. Oh, whoops, I went down. I was supposed to go up. Hang on. Calendar Girls. Was a new start. It is down. Hang on one second. When you put new starts in, this doesn't alphabetize it. It just stays in the order. That's the only downside. And if you try to go ahead and alphabetize, it only alphabetizes some of the stuff. It doesn't transfer all of the cells in Excel. Calendar Girls October, I've done 500 stitches on this so far. And this was technically this was a new start because I did 500 stitches and that started it. But it's part of this series that I want to get done. So even though it's a new start, it's still not like a new start, if that makes any kind of sense. Like I have this one and I have the other one I'm going to show you guys that it's like it's a series of patterns, and so it's like once I get done with one, I give myself a break from working on that type of pattern and I pull something else in. That's why I'm working on Dolly Mama Hoe, because I finished one of my gingerbread carousel pieces. And then once this one gets done, I'll take a break from this and I'll work on something else. Once one of those gets done, I'm going to do another gingerbread. But this is where I'm at with Calendar Girls October. She has 500 stitches on her so far this year. I do not have February. Do I have February? I still have to do January, March, July, November, and December. Maybe I do have all of them with me. In 1 second. So this is how my mom is finishing them for me. She has this, she found this thing right here, right? And so every month I can switch them out. So this is the current month. This is June. And she's like flat finish like that fabric. But February I started in, did I start it this year? I don't remember if I started it this year or if I started it last year, but this is February. I feel like I started it this year. This was February. Isn't it cute with the little rickrack? February had a total of 1,549 stitches on it this year for me to finish it. And I feel like that is okay. April, I think I did last year, or I did it in December. That's April. May is this one. I finished this one this year. I finished it in January. I did 1,132 stitches on her and got her, that was a start and a finish in the month of January. August, I did last year. I like the fabric on that one. And September, I started in December, I think it was, and I finished it in January, so I will probably have stitch count in text on the screen if I started it in December. But I did 573 stitches on this in the month of January to get this one finished off. So those are the Calendar Girls I have completed so far. 3, 6, yeah, October would be number 7. So, but not gonna lie, they're a little bit exhausting to work on sometimes, so that's why I kind of give myself a break. So I do not have July completed, so I will probably keep this up until mid-July, and then I can maybe switch it out with August a little bit early. And then I do have September, and I'm doing October now, so hopefully I can get October done and get it to my mom so she can finish it and give it back to me before October hits. So, but like I said, let me just go ahead and show these real quick. So the ones I still have to do are January. February is done. I need to do March. April is done. May and June are completed. I need to do July. August and September are done. I showed you October because that's what I'm working on now, and I still need to do November and December. So And then the final one in the Finish the Shit category is the Gingerbread Smalls 2022 from Twin Peak Primitives. And that's all of them. You'll see a couple finishes on here as well, because I'm stitching all of them 2/2 full cross on a 28 count even weave in the color Cornflower by Fiber on a Whim. And I've completed 2 of them, and I have 1 already started. So this one is the one I've started. I have not worked on it yet this year. This is the Icy Cottage. But when I pull this grouping back out to work on it again, I want to do a different one. I want to do, like, I think it's the Cream Cottage. When I pull this back out again, I want to do this one. So yeah. But this was the Gingerbread Train. This one was so cute. And hang on. Okay, so this one here, I did 801 stitches on it in February, March, and April to get that one done. So, so cute. April, May, June, yeah. And then the other one that I finished this year is Gingerbread Smalls Carousel. I just finished this one this month. I feel like I showed it, like, not the floss tube from the most recent one, but the one before that. I want to say I finished this like maybe the 2nd floss tube of June. I did a total of 1,506 stitches on this to finish it. So, like I said, the next time this grouping comes out, so my idea, what I want to do, usually when I give my stuff to my mom, like my mom finishes my stuff for me, and then she's like, what do you want me to do with it? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, she came up with that. I think for the calendar girls, I think I did tell her I wanted something where I could like switch them out every month. So, but she had that idea, like the whole little hangy thing and everything. This one, I know what I want to do. I want to get some cute fabric for the back, and I want to turn them into pillows like they are on here. I want to turn them into pillows. And my mom keeps saying, you need a dough bowl. You need a dough bowl, like to put stuff in like that. And I found a really beautiful dark, Mom, when you come over, you got to see it. I found a really beautiful dark wooden bowl at Aldi for like $20. So I got it. It's a really nice bowl, and I'll be able to put those pillows in once I'm done. So that's it for the Finish the Shit category. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, how you guys doing? You still with me? Okay. Next category I'm gonna do is fancy stuff / Sal. So that is like my fancy ladies and stuff that's in a stitch along. Okay, so first up, I'm just gonna pick right off the top here. Hang on a second, let me get this straightened out a little bit. Okay, first up is going to be a retired Sal. This is the Harry Potter Stitch Your Own Adventure from Cunning Cross Stitch on Facebook. I have a mock-up of the parchment outlines. It's a choose your own adventure, so every piece is going to be different. I have 3 of these going, one for myself and then one for each of my kids. So I got 3 of these to show you. First one is going to be for my younger son, Lachlan. And all right, I'm doing them all. It's like 16 count Ivory Ada. This one is his, And I have done 400 stitches on it this year. So he's in the Slytherin house, so that's going to be his house flag right there. Then the next one is mine. I have not worked on this one this year. All I have on mine is the outline of Parchment 1 and my Quidditch game down there. So there's that one. And then the last one is Peyton's. I think he has the most work on it, but I haven't worked on it this year. This one's his. So he had picked, I'll go over it more whenever I decide to work on these again, but he got to pick, this was like the love potion thing. And so he got to pick 3 of his favorite scents. So he picked coffee, that's a coffee bean, bread, and peach. So yeah. So those are 3 Harry Potter stitch-alongs from 5 years ago. Nowhere close to being done. Okay. Oh, and check it out. They're all in a Harry Potter. I don't really show my project bags because I get a couple of them. I bought a couple of them from Alara because she makes bags, but most of them are stitched by my mom. Not that I don't, my mom makes great bags. So this was my Harry Potter bag, but I don't want people like, oh, she should sell them, blah, blah. She doesn't want to sell them. She just makes them for me when she has time. But yeah, I probably should make a point to show the bags because she makes them all. Like, she makes them for me. I should be better about that. When I come across them again, I'll show them. Okay, so anyway, those were those 3. And then the next one was a new start in February. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection. Wintertime Fairy by, was it Meredith Dillman? Yes. Meredith Dillman. This was a new start with Alara. We did this for Valentine's Day because we're both cold-hearted bitches. That's my excuse. So far this year, shit. Hang on. Okay, making sure I show it the right way. So far this year, I have put in 611 stitches. So this is kind of a combo, well no, because I said officially a sal. I was gonna say it's a combo of fancy stuff and sal, but this is just the fancy stuff part. So there's that one. One second, let me figure out how I had this in the bag. There we go. Okay, next up is Stitchography from Fat Quarter Shop. This was the World Cross Stitch Day 2021. That is what it's going to look like. Well, that's what it's going to look like when it's done, but I am doing a color conversion. My mom gave me a bunch of Etoile floss. And so I'm basically kind of picking my own colors. Doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white Monaco. And one moment, because I know I've worked on it this year. Yes. Okay. So far this year, I have put in 900 stitches. That's where that is so far. It's really cute. And it's a lot of fun to work on because of the Etoile. Because it's like, it's hard to see. Oh, you can kind of see it in the light green down at the bottom. You can kind of see it. And the orange up here, it's like kind of glittery. But yeah, all of it like glitters at me. So it's really pretty. And I like it. Okay. I think this is one of my Monopoly whips, so I'm gonna keep that out. Okay, next up is one of the stitch along pieces. This is the Quaker tiles. You know those Quaker tiles from Vivsters that everybody was doing a sale with? This is the Norway flag because that is where like my family is from. I'm not. I mean, heritage, yes, but I'm not. I've never been in Norway. I'm doing this 2/2 full cross with a call for DMC on a 36 count Edinburgh linen in the color vintage country mocha. And I showed you what it looked like already, so let me just hold that up. I have not worked on it this year. Make sure I show it the right way. Here we go. So far, I have 900 stitches completed out of 45,561. I am at 1.98%. Here we go. Okay, next up is, what is it? Oh, so next up is the Stitcher's Paradise Sal. This is from the World of Cross Stitch magazine from 2024, I think it was. Designed by Doreen Jones. So this was in a part every month. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So it was a part every month. I was trying to make sure it wasn't like from 2023 into 2024. But I feel like it was from 2024. I'm doing it with a call for DMC 2/2 full cross or fractionals where it needs on a 28 count white opalescent Lugana. And that is where I'm at with it right now. So far this year, I have put in 900 stitches, and that's including the back stitching. So part one of a sale that started last year is almost done. The border is completely done. I need to finish cross stitching the needle book here, and the cross stitching over here is done. I just need to back stitch. And then finish this box and backstitch like that. And then that'll be done and I can move on to the next part. So that'll be cool. I think this is another Monopoly piece. Okay, next up is Dreaming of Autumn Leaves by Rosewood Manor. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using all the called for floss. It's a bunch of Weeks Dye Works and is being stitched 2/2 full cross on a 32 count cream Lugana. And so far this year, I've put in 1,100 stitches. I still have to frog this right here because it's a 1 stitch over too far. So I got to frog that still. But, so I want to say my 1,100 stitches is mainly over here. But yeah, really liking how it's coming out so far. It's very pretty. So. Next up is Reaching Skyward. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery. This was Jacob's Sal from 2023. I had to think about that one. This is a Sal from 2023. Where is it? There it is. I changed my colors. This one I have in Pattern Keeper. So I don't have the cover photo, but this is my mock-up with my color choices. And I'm using, I'm doing it 2 strands full cross on a 20 count Aida in the color Polar Blue. This was from Mystic Fabrics. It was a fabric of the month for November of 2022. And so far this year, ooh, look at that blue. So far this year, I've put in 700 stitches. I am now sitting at 2,200 stitches completed. Out of 47,789, I am at 4.60%. So there's that. Okay, next up is a new start from this year. This is a, I think this is a this is a Nora Corbett. Like she's got like smaller ones. This one is Luna. So it's not like an official Mirabilia. But this one is called Luna. I'm using all the call for stuff. It's mostly DMC. And it's got 1 Krynic and some beads. So I got the beads and treasure pack and the Krynic. The Krynic is really pretty. It's like a green color. It's the Peridot, I think. Is that Peridot or I don't know, but it's really pretty. I don't know the name of the color, but anyway. I am doing this 2 strands full cross, or 2/2 full cross on a 28 count Monaco in the color Audi. It was a fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics from September of 2024. And I want to say I did 500. I did 502 stitches to get her started. My lighting is changing now because it is almost 9 o'clock at night. I've been filming since 3. Yeah. But there's her. So she's not super big. So I'm hoping once I get her in as like kind of a focus rotation, that I'll be able to get her done fairly quickly. We'll see. Okay, next up is one of my current active rotation pieces. This is Mermaids of the Season Sal. This is from Bella Filipina and Fiberlicious. This was from 2023. Yeah, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using all the called for stuff, DMC, Krynic, beads. Fabric is a 28 count Lugana in the color Singing in the Rain from Fiberlicious. Sorry, I'm tired. Mermaids. So far this year, I know I did a lot. That's why I was like, let me go find it. Okay. So far this year, I have put in 2,000, oh shit. I've put in 2,500 stitches. I'll bring it in because I've worked in a lot of spots. Okay, so so when I put this into my focus thing, I had a goal of 4,000 stitches. And I wanted to, when I first started working on it, I was like, oh, I want to work on the summer mermaid. And so while I was doing that, I was like, oh, I should do 1,000 stitches in each mermaid because I did 4,000 stitches. So between the border and her, I did 1,000 stitches here. And then I have 1,000 stitches over here. And then I've done 200 stitches in the winter mermaid. No, I've done 700 stitches in the winter mermaid. But since my WIP parade, I've done, how did I do this? I did 1,000 in June on here. At some point, I don't know. I've done 2,500 stitches and now I can't figure out where I'm off, because when I look at my tracking board, I should have, oh, you know what? I must have worked on this in December too. But I still owe stitches to this one, but I still need to do 1,000 stitches here. That's what it is. I have stitches from December. So you'll see that on there as well. Pretty sure. Because I only need 300 stitches on the winter mermaid to get her 1,000 stitches in. So yeah. So there's that one. Next one is my fancy one. I have to insert a picture of this one. It is my chatelaine. This is Deep Blue Sea. And I'm doing a floss conversion. I am not using the Glorianas because they are hard to find and expensive. So I decided, plus I'm impatient and I didn't want to wait 6 to 8 months for them. So I decided to do a color conversion, and I converted the first part. I converted just about all of that floss to various flosses that I already had in my stash, like variegated ones, not just DMC. So Deep Blue Sea was a new start. It's at the bottom. I started it this year in January. I have done a total, one second, here we go. I'm gonna make sure I showed it the right way. I have done a total of 629 stitches on it this year. And I'm doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count black Jobelin. So yeah, it's my fancy. It don't look super fancy right now. It just looks very humdrum, but yeah. It's fun, but I do have the PDF of version, like I have the pattern on a PDF. And I'm glad that I do, because it's not very friendly with printing it out and looking at it. It's very hard to see because it's like very condensed. So having it on my computer, I can zoom in and make it bigger so I can see it better. All right, next up is going to be technically my first Teresa Winsler, but it's very small. Like, I feel like it shouldn't count as a Winsler because of all the Winslers that are out there that are huge, but technically it's my first one. This one is Unicorn. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing it with the Call For threads, crap ton of blends, and it's 2/2 full cross on a 28 count even weave in the color Summer Sky. And so far this year, I've put in 800 stitches. That's where I'm at with it right now. It's not going to be very big, so that's nice. So there's that. Okay. Next up is going to be Stitch Fairy. This is from Brooks Books, and it says, all you need is faith, trust, and a little stitchy dust. I do not believe that this is currently available. Brooke did pass away from cancer late last year, and I think that her stuff, like her website and her Etsy shop, had to be basically put on vacation because it was not, the stuff wasn't transferred over to her family. So I don't think that this is available right now. I don't have much of a start on this. I have not worked on it this year. I'm using the Call for DMC. I'm doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white opalescent even weave. I'm using the Call for DMC, and then it calls for a crap ton of Krynic. But I did find a few Krynics when I went to my LNS. I found these ones, and so I went ahead and picked from Petite Treasure Braid. And I went ahead and picked them up. I was trying to think if these are... Anyway, because, you know, Petite Treasure Braid bought out Krynic. So anyway, I did find these, and I was like, well, these look like colors that would be used in here. So I went ahead and grabbed them. I just haven't looked to see where I could use them at. But this is where I'm at right now with it. So, and if I don't need them in this particular pattern, then I'll just save them for something else. No big deal, because they're pretty. Okay. But like I said, I have not worked on that this year, so I don't have a stitch count. This fabric is so big. It's huge. I didn't tell you the dimensions. This piece is 343 by 262. I did not realize how big it was going to be. 28 count over 2 threads. The stitch size is 25 inches by 19 inches. That's big. All right. Next up is going to be Belle. This is by Shannon Christine Designs. And that is what she's going to look like when she's done. I'm using the Call for DMC 2/2 full cross on a 28 count Lugana in the color Winter Skies from Live and Die LA. And I don't have much of a start on her. I want to say that when I started this, I did 500 stitches on it. That's where I'm at with it. There's that. I haven't stitched yet today, and it's almost 9, and I really want to stitch, but at the same time, I have all my stuff out to film, and I'm like, maybe I should just keep going and just get this thing done and over with. But I still have a lot of patterns to go. Next up is going to be, oh, I'm probably going to say this wrong. You can go ahead and make fun of me. Clouds Over Verlanda by Ink Circles. This does originally call for silks. I am not rich enough to buy the silks for this. I'm doing it in DMC. I'm doing it 2/2 full cross on, yeah, I am a single income household over here. I mean, like, I have some silk floss, but I can't just buy all the silk floss for this. I'm doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count Lugana in the color Doubloon by Picture This Plus. I have not worked on it this year. This is my starting point. Just a few letters. I like how it looks though. All right. Next up is from Kitty and Me Designs. This is Sunflower Mandala, however you want to say it. It's pronounced both ways. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This does have some Krynic in it. This does have some Krynic. I will probably substitute it for Petite Treasure Braid when I need to worry about it. I have not worked on it yet this year. I'm doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white Monaco. I have no idea which way this is going, but I feel like it would go this way. Just knowing how I stitch, I feel like it would go this way. That's all I've done so far. Probably about 500 stitches. I usually try to do like about 500 stitches on a piece when I pull it out, so that's why I think it's 500. Okay, next up is one of my band samplers. I have three, well, I have one started, patterns for two. Twisted Band Sampler is the one that I have started, from Northern Expressions. I have Twisted Rainbow Sampler ready to go, and I also have the Christmas Band Sampler. Northern Expressions Needlework, yeah. I also have the Christmas Band Sampler thing that I have not started yet. I do not think that I have not worked on this yet this year. I'm being very basic with it. I'm doing the cross stitch version because this does come in cross stitch and specialty stitch. I'm doing the cross stitch version, and I'm doing the DMC, not the Verswa. And this is where I'm at with it right now. And I am currently sitting at 1,320 stitches completed out of 21,989. I am at 6.00% complete. So there's that. Okay. Next up is my other Modern Folk embroidery. This is Fruits of Plenty 2021 stitch along. A lot of people are doing this one. Lots and lots. I'm doing it with like 3 colors. I don't have much of a start on it, and I don't have a percent complete because this one I got on paper. But I'm doing it on a 20 count Ada in the color Pumpkin Spice by Mystic Fabrics. It was a fabric of the month from 2022. Have not worked on it this year. I am doing it in 3 colors, mainly orange and brown. I'm going to hold it back here for a minute so you can maybe see. It's more of the color that it is. So it's orange and brown with hints of green. So it's very fall. You see what I mean? Like hints of green here and there, but mainly orange and brown. I have the colors written down somewhere. I want to say it's like 3345 or 3346 is the green. 938 is the brown. Please tell me I wrote it down somewhere. Did I have it in a notebook. Why wouldn't I have written it on anything in here so I would remember? I believe it's like 740, 938, and 3345, but I have it written down somewhere. I just have to find it. But I'm not working on it actively right now anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. I definitely need to write it on a note and put it in the bag, just in case. Okay, next up is going to be the Haunted Library Sal from Lola Crow Cross Stitch. This is her sal from 2022. This is all of it together. I want all of her sals, but this is the only one I have. And this is the only one I have started because it's the only one I have. I have learned this about myself. I am really bad about keeping up with sals. So I don't worry about purchasing a sal to participate in right away because I know how I'm going to be. I bought this in 2022 and I am still on the prologue. This has not been worked on this year at all. I mean, bonus is I'm over, like, the staircase is going to start coming down this way, and then the prologue should be done soon. Well, soon-ish, whenever I start working on it again. But yeah. So yeah, the banister's coming down, which means that the staircase is going to come down. And there's just going to be some back stitching here and there that I'm going to have to do, that I got to figure out where it's at. And then I can move on to chapter 1. Oh, I'm doing it on with the Call for DMC, 2 strands full cross on an 18 count Ada in the color Vintage Country Mocha. Okay, next up is another Kitty and Me Designs. This one is Morning Glory. Didn't I call the other one Morning Glory? No, I called that one Sunflower. Okay, this is Morning Glory. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing it with the Call for threads, 2 strands full cross on an 18 count Ada. I want to say in the color Dirty. And pretty sure, I mean, it's all the same, but pretty sure it goes this way. I have not worked on it this year. There you go. You can kind of see the Krynic a bit better. Am I doing Krynic or Petite Treasure Braid? What am I doing? White. I think I'm doing Petite Treasure Braid. I gotta find it though. My stupid ass didn't leave it in the project. I should have done that, but I didn't. So I gotta find it now. It's probably in my drawer. But anyway, haven't worked on it. So, okay. Next up is my sal from Stiachalone from 2020. This is House. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this in 4 colorways because I could not decide when I did this which one I wanted to do. So I said back in 2020, hey, it would be great to do it like you know those Andy Warhol things where it's like the 4 faces in different color schemes. It'd be great to do it like that. I haven't worked on it this year, but this is where I'm at with it. So I have a variation of pinks, oranges, purples, and greens. Green, obviously, I'm the farthest along with it. Parts 1 and 2, I think, are done in all of it. I think this, I want to say parts 1 and 2 have been completed. I don't want to say I'm on part 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is part 3 out of 7. All right. Next up is my first Mirabilia I ever started. This is Nightingale. That's what she's going to look like when she's done. And I'm using all the call for stuff except for the fabric. I'm not using that nasty green fabric. I can't stand some of the fabrics that they end up putting these fancy ladies on because they really do a disservice to the pattern. But you know what? That's not my business. It's not my business. I have not worked on her this year. Right? No. I am doing this 2/2 full cross on a 28 count 28 count Lugana in the color Dusk by Picture This Plus. And this is where I've gotten to with her. I feel like I may have worked on this in December, so you might end up seeing a before photo with a stitch count because I really feel like I've worked on this in December. But I have not worked on it this year. Okay. So there's that. And then next up is going to be my temperature cell from Teeny Weeny X Stitch. I was doing this with Alara and she bailed on me because she's a big fat loser. Just kidding. But yeah, like I understand why she did it, and it's fine. I've honestly, so this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Well, this is a mock-up in the grayscale because the bottles are going to be all different. Honestly, I have been really tempted to UFO this one and maybe restart it. I haven't worked on it this year, and these temperatures are from 2023. They don't really signify anything of importance to me. It was just we're doing a stitch along this year with this, me and her. Let's do this year's temperatures. I mean, it don't look too bad, so maybe I'll keep going with it now that I'm looking at it. Hang on, I'll bring it in. I mean, it really does not look bad at all, especially now that I'm getting down here, January, February, March, April, where there's like other colors besides green, blue, and purple, because it's January, February, March, April. Maybe I'll keep going with it, but I was tempted to set it aside and do it on a different fabric with a year of temperatures that means something besides what this is, which is pretty much just a random year that current year that I did this in. Anyway, I am doing this 2 strands full cross on a 32 count. I don't know where the card is. I think it's a 32 count Lugana in the color It's a Mystery by Bestitch Me, I believe. And there's a lot. Like each temperature range has its own set of colors in it. So there's a lot of colors to be used in this. And I am currently sitting, it is in Pattern Keeper, as you saw. I am currently sitting at 5,401 stitches completed out of 27,786. I am at 19.44%. January shelf is completely done. Like, there's no back stitching in this pattern. If you recently watched Alara's video, she was talking about how she had back stitching because she was just trying to make some stuff pop out. But really, there's no back stitching in this unless you wanted to add it. But see, this April, we're getting into warmer temperatures here. So February still needs to be finished. But yeah, I think maybe I'll keep this. Maybe I'll keep it out. Not keep it out, but like keep it going. Okay. I have all of the temperatures written down. I just have to actually sit down and do it. Okay. 2 more in this pile, and then this pile will be done. So next up is going to be crossword from Long Dog Samplers. I always say Long Dog. Long Dog Samplers. Like from Breakfast Club. What's happening, hot stuff? And I am doing this with, okay. It's 237 by 210, and I'm doing it 2/2 full cross. Oh, getting choked up about it. I breathed too hard and dried my throat. 2/2 full cross on a 32 count to Lugana in the color Exotic Orchid. I don't know who dyed it, but it is a very pretty purple. And I am using a hank of silk that one of my friends sent me. So I don't know what color it is, but the silk itself is like a mix of like cream and like brown. Yeah, so it's like kind of cream. How do they do this? How do they twist it up? I watch you guys do this. Like Kelly does this all the time. I keep it in a plastic bag. There we go. So it's like kind of a mix of like cream and brown, and it's showing up a little yellow on camera, but it's not yellow. Ah, I just dropped it. Okay, so I haven't worked on it this year. I should have worked on it for June Dog, but I had so much going on with my stuff that I was just like, whatever. I'll do it next year, Andy. Andy from the Crow Stitcher hosts June Dog every year, and you just work on whatever long dogs you have. But this is where I'm at with it. So I will say, I am aware, if you're looking, it is a little bit stripy with the color change, but it does not bother me. I'm okay with that. It does not bother me how the colors, because I was going back and forth row by row. Like I do full, like the full X, but you know, going back and forth row by row, I was like, it's fine. It'll probably be stripy here, and then I'll probably change how I stitch throughout the rest of the piece, and it won't be so stripy. So then it'll look even weirder. But my plan right now is that I am going to just work on the outside, like all of this stuff and everything, and not do the letters just yet. My friend that sent me the hank, he said that it should be enough. He said it's like a full hank. So he said it should be enough to do that long dog, because I asked him, I'm like, I'm scared about, you know, using it for, but he said, no, it'll be enough. And I was like, all right. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work on the outside. Fingers crossed I have enough because I don't even know what the color is to get more. And then I'll see how much I have left to do the letters. And if I think I have enough, then I'll go ahead and do the letters with that. But if not, then I'll do a different color for the letters. Okay. Last one. Oh, man. I need a book. Hang on. Okay. Last one. This one is really needs to come out and get some more love because a lot of you guys really, really like this piece. I got to come in from the side. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me show the book first. So if you know, you know. This is a Spanish sampler. It is out of the 101, ow, that was my finger. Best Love Designs from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. I bought it because I wanted that pattern. And I got it from this chick on Facebook Marketplace for $25. And then I realized that these two were in there. And when I was in high school, I tried multiple times to stitch her because she was, looked like she would be really challenging, and she was very challenging. And I kept like messing her up. And so now I kind of want to stitch her even though she's really creepy. Even though she's super creepy. Ooh, I kind of want to stitch her just to prove a point. Like just to show myself that I can. But anyway, this is Spanish Sampler. I have to come in from the side because there's a pattern on the other page. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am up in the top right now. So I'm using the call for thread, and I'm doing it 2/2 full cross, or however it says, because there's specialty stitches in this, on a 28 count casual linen. I have not worked on this year. I may or may not have done stitches in December. I do not recall. If I did, I'll have them up, but I'm not sure if I don't think I did. But this is where I'm at with it right now. So over here is a satin stitch. All this is satin stitches. This here is a 4-sided stitch. So basically you're just outlining each box. And same with this, and you have regular full crosses in here too, but the green is the 4-sided stitch as well, right? Is it the green? Yeah, the green is a 4-sided stitch, and the blue, the purpley color, and the cream are all regular full crosses. Same with this blue line here, and then this down here is just a zigzag. So it'd be like a zigzag if you were doing it like that. So, yeah. I did mention that the next time I did pull this out, I was probably going to move down here and work a bit in this band because I was honestly starting to get tired of this. So we'll see what happens when I get to pull this out again. I don't know when that's going to happen, but yeah. So that is all of my fancy stuff and stitch along stuff. I do not need this book anymore, so I'll put that there for now. And I have 2 more categories and my 2 main focus pieces to go over still. So I think I will do this in another, hang on one second. Okay, I have 2 categories and 2 main focus pieces still to go. I'm not going to get any stitching done. I really just want to get this done and over with. So I think I will do a 3-part WIP parade. How I keep managing, it used to be 5, then it was 4. I think I can get this in 3 parts. I don't know, we'll see. I may have to splice stuff or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, stay tuned for part 3. I'll talk to you guys later. See you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.